Hello, Rebel, and welcome to the Week 11 recap for the REL Division 8. My name is Big Chuck, and this week I'm joined by Khalerick, I believe is how you say your name in-game. Is that correct?
It's Khalerick.
Khalerick.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Some people say Khalerick. So.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I'm the coach of the Battle Brothers. It's the Bretonian team. I've been playing them for I think 2 seasons now. I also started in the Greenhorns preseason, I guess. I'm not sure what to call that.
Yep.
I've been playing Blood Bowl more seriously for the past year, but before that, I didn't really play it that seriously, to be honest. I had a passing knowledge of it, and then my friend JJ Cash really got me into the game, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of creeped up on me. Like initially, I was kind of lazy with it. I was like, it's an okay game. Right. I joined Orca-Cola Championship, the OCC.
Yes.
I got my ass kicked for about 3 seasons, but slowly over the 3 seasons, I just kind of got a little bit better of it. I learned a little bit more about the rules, and then once I got the rules down, I started learning more about the tactics and the strategy. And now I'm just kind of obsessed with the game.
All right.
That's got a hold on me.
It'll do that to you. It's an addicting game for sure. I'm certainly having a ton of fun with it. All right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well,
let's get this going.
Dive right into the recap here. First game of the week, we had the Hyup Hyup with the Red Runt Rage going up against the Gigolo House, I believe is how I've been saying it. I hope I've been saying that right. Looks like, unfortunately, the Flings weren't able to pull it out this week. They took the 2-0 loss to the Wood Elves.
Yeah, if you look at his team, it's actually really beat up right now. He had some trees die, I think, recently. So
yeah, he had a Shazelbob in 1 game took out both of his trees.
So, well,
yeah,
I think I'm playing him next, so that sucks to hear.
Well,
a lot of damage.
The good news I can say about this game this week is there were no permanent damage dealt this week on either side. We did have a miss next game on a Fling, and we only had a badly hurt on the Wood Elf side. And the good news for Hyup Hyup is he was able to pick up Shazel Baobab. I'm not sure how you say that name, but a tree dedicated to Shazelbob, who took out his other 2 trees.
That's pretty good.
So he is on the rebound and dedicated to rebuilding this team. My understanding is he intends to sell off Redbeard the Rascal, the Movement 7 Fling, in the offseason to pick up a second tree and rebuild the Halflings.
He could play the Devastational and try it that way.
Can't get more devastated than you are right now, right?
Yeah, he's in a hole pretty deep here. I see lots of loners on this team.
Yep.
So good luck, man.
Yep.
You get respect for playing Flings.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's a great coach to play against. Always entertaining. So good news for them. Interesting development on the Wood Elf side. Cherrywood, the War Dancer, who is picked up Tackle as his first skill, picked up Frenzy as his second skill, which I was a little bit surprised by. I don't very often see the Tackle and Frenzy. It's usually Tackle or Frenzy on a War Dancer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really super experienced with Wood Elves, but I would imagine if you jumped into a cage with that guy, you might get in some serious trouble.
Yep.
But at the same time, because they have so much movement, it is kind of a threat. He could surf anybody pretty much any time.
He's gonna get the knockdowns that he wants, right? With the Tackle and Frenzy, if you get a push, you're gonna knock him down. So that does give you a really good blitzing piece to just knock down pieces you want to knock down. Also had another skill up on a lineman picking up Blodge, so he's got half a dozen Blodgers on the team now. So the Wood Elf team's not in bad shape either. So both these teams kind of rebuilding, but making progress on it.
Yeah, looks good.
After that, we have a couple of games that not too much to talk about here. My understanding from Steak Mittens, he streamed a game the other day that I watched, and he mentioned that he just hasn't been able to get in touch with his opponent. So I don't know if something's going on IRL with Poetic or something along those lines. So
yeah, he's been MIA for I think 2 weeks now.
yeah,
He was kind of difficult to schedule with. From talking to him, it sounded like he had a pretty rough like night schedule, and it just made things kind of difficult. And I think the over the course of the season, it might have kind of ground him down, is my guess.
Yeah.
So.
And my understanding from Twitch chat, we have Rex letting us know that Oathblow and the Night Haunt are going to play tonight. So
Cool.
we won't be able to cover that here, but we can definitely go back and take a look at what happened next week and see what happens there. So one game to be played. Next game, one I'm excited to talk about. This game went down yesterday. I watched it live. It was a great game. Shazel Bob's Broken Boys versus Shadora's Street Sharks. The Broken Boys take it down 2-1.
Yeah, that's a good matchup for Camry, I think.
Yeah, and
they got that 5 strength.
Yep. Just tag out the that's basically exactly what happened there. He was able to tag out the 4 strength Saurus with 5 strength with the 5 strength Tomb Guardians and hold it down. This is a big game for the division because Shadora was threatening to run away with it. This keeps it. I'm sure this is of great interest to yourself. This keeps it in striking distance.
There's I think 4 or 5 teams that are within playoff distance. Like if Shadora loses his next game, for example.
Yep.
And if I lose my next game, and then let's say Rex wins his, he is in first place.
Yeah.
Or if the Camry wins their next game, like if he beats me, and then Shadora loses, he's tied for first place. The thing about Shadora is that his TD differential is so high that if you get into a tie with him, I think you're going to lose it.
Whoever takes him down is going to have to take him down straight up. I would definitely agree with that. But it's something that can still happen. It is he is not invincible.
Yeah, no pressure, man. No pressure.
all the pressure. So that is good stuff there. Big notes from that game. Dr. Robert took a movement bust in this game, and I don't know if you're familiar with the Street Sharks team, but Dr. Robert is his... Let's see if I can pull up the character here. It's a plus strength, mighty blow, break tackle, armor 8 Saurus. It was already armor busted. It picked up a movement bust, so now it's an armor busted, movement busted Saurus. But he said he's keeping him at least through the playoffs. After the playoffs, I think this guy's done. But
I would keep it.
Yeah.
I would a player like that I'd ride to death, to be honest. Because 5 strength is insane to have that on a non mega trait character.
Yep.
And he has break tackle.
Yep.
So,
the
AV8 doesn't bother me.
The armor 8 is a little bit shaky. If he takes another armor bust, I think he's a glue for sure. But
yeah, but in a way, you have to look at the 5 strength as AV8 in of itself, right? Because how often is this thing going to get hit?
For sure.
So I would keep it. But if it gets mood busted again, like if it goes into 4, I mean, that's when you're going to start thinking, maybe I should get rid of this thing.
Right.
Yeah. He has a really strong team, the Sharks.
Yes.
He has an amazing skink, and his Sauruses have just been healthy. So it's a team like that's very hard to stop.
That's been the really impressive thing all season to me is he has 2 Armor H Sauruses, and those things, up until now, I don't think have taken a single... have not really gotten bad lead or anything. They're just Armor 8 just works.
Yeah, I know when I played him, I could not break the armor on his skinks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I guess because Blood Bowl has a dark sense of humor,
yep.
He dodged a skink out towards the end of the game, and it fell to dodge and then died on the floor. And I was like, yeah, go figure.
Right? That is funny.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
diving on down to the next one, we have the Rock'em Sock'ems, coached by Dwigs, versus Hausdorff's Homewreckers by Randomus Namus. The Rock'em Sock'ems took this one down 2-0, which is an impressive result for this team, considering I think they're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, yeah, there we go. They have 2 loners on the team, so they're on a 9-man squad as Wood Elves and outbashed Chaos
yeah.
Force.
He killed a Claw Mighty Blow guard blocker.
Killed a very good blocker, then movement busted a guard Mighty Blow blocker. And then Miss Next gamed just a Mighty Blow blocker.
Yeah.
So, gonna be a tough next game for the home wreckers. He did replace the dead blocker, but he's on 4 blockers for the next game.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. I mean, that's the core of the team, pretty much. I don't know what else you do without those pieces. I know just as an observation that, like, when I played him, I thought he might have been too aggressive with his moving around with the bull centaurs, and then maybe got him in trouble. Like, I felt like he should, with a team with that much kill power, he should just kind of box up and move down the field as slow as possible, and just like smash everything in its place. But I see, because I've played a couple Chorf teams now, what I've noticed is that because like the bull centaur has that sprint and sure feet skill, like a lot of those players take those extra GFIs even though they don't really need to, and it's like if you take enough of those things, you're gonna fail eventually.
Yeah, you're gonna find snakes at some point.
Yeah, and he found snakes against me, and it pretty much ended the game like almost immediately. So, but he does. I mean, even though he lost that blocker, he still has like a pretty solid team here, and it's slowly becoming like a kill team. So.
Yeah, that loss definitely hurts, but still 2 Mighty Blow Claw on the team. Still plenty of Mighty Blow, plenty of guard. That's the one observation I made is he seemed to take the kill skills faster than guard, and when I'm playing a dwarf team, I like to really balance that. Like, I want every time I want to take a guard, then take a Mighty Blow, then take another guard. You know, kind of that way, so that I always have a little bit more guard than I have Mighty Blow. So I think he's a little bit. I don't know if this is just from cycling or what happened, but he's a little bit on the Mighty Blow side of things. So I guess he does have a couple of guard hobgoblins, so maybe that balances that out.
Yeah, I sometimes see some Chorfs use the hobgoblins as a ball carrier, and I don't know if that's normal or not. So I'm not sure if he's doing atypical things. But I mean, he has a badass ball carrier with that bull centaur. But I'm not sure if it'd be preferable to have the hobgoblin be carrying the ball.
I think that's just a choice that is made at some point. I've seen probably about half and half. Half the Chorf players want a bull centaur carrying the ball just because you're carrying with strength 4. The other half just carry it on a hobgoblin because I want my bull hitting things. So I can see arguments for both ways. I think so I personally, it's kind of a meta decision. I personally lean more towards the hobgoblin carrier and bull centaur, being a strength wall, end caps for my line of guard. But I can see it being played both ways.
So I do think his team is pretty good. I mean, the bull centaurs are amazing. He has a blodge, big strength one, and then he has a jump up one, which I think is actually a lot better than it looks. Like, some people seem to hate jump up over dodge, but if it's like your kill piece, like you want to have it roaming around smashing things, I like that pick a lot.
And it's a fast piece too, so having that jump up, you can get around and make those blitzes. You're not necessarily using the jump up to make those jump up blocks, but you can use it to get him up and wherever you want him to go. So it also makes it dangerous to base him when it's down, because I know I knocked that piece down, and then I realized it had the jump up, so like I couldn't position the way I wanted to. Like, it had an effect on the field. So he has a good team. I like those pieces, and things will get better for Chorfs. This game I would like to go back and take a look at, because it just seems not normal for there to be equal armor breaks. Or actually, there were more armor breaks for the Dark Elves than there were for the. It was 15-12 on armor breaks. So
and it's even armor, or even blocks, I should say. So that's just bad luck.
Even blocks, but the elves broke more armor. So I think that's the story of that game. And next up, we have a game I think you're pretty familiar with here. The One Cheese Rex versus you with the Battle Brothers.
Oh, yeah. So this is going to sound pretty nerdy, but like I have almost no experience against Skaven, like at all. So what I did to prepare for this was I actually started Googling, what is the Skaven team do? What is its thing? And then I also started watching games on the Blood Bowl client, and just like seeing how they like behave, I guess.
Right.
Because it's like it's one thing to see that 9 movement like on paper,
Right.
but when you see it in action, like in fact, here's a perfect example. I watched a game between Fiction, who's a very good Necro player,
Right.
and he was playing someone from Skaven. I can't remember who. I'm sorry, but he didn't screen properly before he took a block, right? And then that block that he took, he re-rolled it into a double down or a double skull, I should say.
Yep.
And immediately pretty much lost the game, like right there, because the Skaven team could just fly around his side,
Yep.
get the ball, and score instantly.
Yep.
So when I was playing Rex here, who played a very good game, all I did was I just made sure I had screens like at all times. And then I remember at one point I made a fairly loose screen, and he immediately took advantage of it and knocked the ball carrier down and almost caught the ball. Like it was a dangerous situation.
Right.
It was a very close game. He had 2 chances at 1-turn touchdowns.
Yep.
I think each of them were about 50% chance, and neither one came through. So this game easily could have been a 2-2 affair. I mean, it was a very close game, to be honest.
Rex saying in chat that you played a crazy good offense, and I will say from whenever we played our game, I remember thinking the same thing. Like I could not stop your offense. That was I felt like there was nothing I could do.
Well, with this game, I think I killed one of his pieces, like literally on turn 1. So that kind of made it pretty easy. And then marching forward, all I did was I just put my peasants in front of my team, so that his kill piece, which is that blitzer right there, that Zorro, all he could do was hit the peasants, which is all I wanted. And then when he did hit the blitzers, I got lucky. He didn't hurt the blitzers or anything. So there was some luck on my side for sure.
I believe you're down a sidestepping blitzer from the time that we played our game. I just remember you having all blodge and a couple of sidestepping blitzers, and I think 3 of the 4 had tackle.
I was missing my Mighty Blow tackle 4 agility piece for this game. Now, quite luckily, before this game ever started, I rolled a agility up on that ball carrier.
Yep.
And it actually, kind of ironically, it didn't matter because I snaked a pickup at one point, and that turnover led to his score, actually, which is kind of crazy.
Rex does mention that his Scampering Mary, his brand new dirty player lineman, died turn 1. The fortunate thing there is Kobe did pick up enough points to level up and replace him as dirty player, so I'm sure Kobe will die turn 1 next game.
Kobe can be somebody else's problem. Those dirty players scare me.
Yep.
I've had so many bad experiences with them. But it was a good game. It was a real good game. I thought the second, if Rex is in the chat, I just want to say I thought the second half was kind of, the start of it was kind of comical because I thought we both made mistakes. Like he was throwing blocks on the line that were like 1 in 9 chances to fail. There was like non-block blocks, I should say.
Sure.
And then eventually one of them did fail, and then the ball was just like kind of sitting there, and then I fireballed like his entire team. like he had all stars clumped together next to the ball, so I fireballed all of them. And then when I went to get the ball, I didn't it's kind of in Blood Bowl, you make assumptions, right? Like, 1 in 36 will never happen, right? So then I went up to go get it. I didn't properly screen it, and then I just dropped it, and then we were back to square 1.
Right.
And I was like, man.
That's funny. He said that was the result of a 1 in 81. So he 1 in 9 rerolled 1 in 9. Yeah, that's a bummer.
See, I have peasants on my team, which don't have any skills at all. They're just dog shit. Excuse my language. But I've done that. I've blocked enough times with them to know to avoid sequencing like that, because I've gotten in trouble doing that exact same thing.
Right.
And again, once the ball was loose, I sequenced incorrectly, and then he played offense pretty well, so I almost had no chance to get to him.
Right.
My agility 4 guys pretty much saved the day on defense, I would say. And it was a great game. I enjoyed it.
Good deal.
I had a lot of fun.
All right, last game to cover for the week.
Good game, Rex, by the way. I just want to say good game.
Was last one on the list for this week is my game, the Pananimals versus Orksploitation Cinema, Das Schuttenheim, the coach there, and I got orc to this game is the short version that I have down.
I gotta ask, is this the game where you got fireballed and like got sent to the Stone Age? Was that this one?
That was last week. So
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, this week it was more just blocks and fouls and blocks and fouls. This game on turn 1, I thought this game's mine. It's in the bag because first block of the game knocked out a black orc. It's like great. Knocked down one of his linemen. I have a bribe in the bag for this game. Go over, foul it, dead lineman. So turn 1 of the game is knocked out black orc, dead lineman. I'm in great shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I believe managed to score. I had to score early due to, I think, maybe a little bit of mistakes on my end. But I was thinking, I'll just screen off. I'll be able to hold him. No big deal. And then we had just a series of everything went wrong. Whenever I fouled, I got my second foul of the game. I got caught. Bribe did not work, so player sent off. Then Jesse run through you. His amazing... What is the stats on this guy? He's a blitzer with mighty blow, tackle, piling on, frenzy. This guy knocked out a player every time he made a block. Every time he blitzed, he knocked out a player. There were... Maybe it wasn't as bad as I said. It was... 4 KAs, 3 KOs. 7 of my 11 players knocked out of the game.
Yeah.
So
you didn't give up that many blocks either. Only 32. Yeah. So it's not like you're bashing or anything.
No. It was just Jesse run through you every time he hit. It was that player's gone. So, but props to Dash Utenheim. He played a really solid game as his orcs. I did also roll a 1 on winning. So my brand new You Bet Giraffe blitzer, who died, is not able to be replaced. So I'm going to be playing down a positional for a couple of weeks here.
Didn't you have a guy who had leap and 5 agility, or is that the one that died?
I still do.
Was he just MNG for this?
Yeah, he was MNG for this game.
Yeah. Okay.
So if we go and look at my full team, we have Totally Irrelevant, who is movement up, agi up, leap.
Yeah, that's a pretty sick piece.
It was a great piece. He could have made a difference in that game, but he decided not to show up.
I mean, that piece can literally take over a game pretty easily, I would say. In fact, I remember that piece because I remember I was really scared you were going to leap into my cage, knock the ball out, get it, and just run off with it.
If you would have gave me more opportunities, I definitely was looking for it. But you were just so like I said, with your offense, you were so well screened. I remember saying this offense is great because you were always well screened. I never had a clean chance to just easily leap into the cage and get back out. I could maybe leap in, but there wasn't really a recovery option. So
let's see. The exploitation team is actually a really nice team on paper here.
Definitely.
A 5 strength guy. I think the 5 strength is niggled, but he's been niggled all season.
Right.
So it's kind of like that Saurus we were talking about, where 5 strength rarely gets hit.
Yep.
But yeah,
I was definitely looking to foul that guy, but my bribe didn't hold up. So.
Oh, did you manage to knock him down?
I don't even think we got to that point. My target number 1 was Jesse run through you. My plan was that's the only tackle on his team, and I have dodge everywhere. So I was thinking if I get Jesse run through you off the field, sure he might be able to get some 3 dice blocks here or there, but that's he's going to have to commit a ton of players to get 3 dice blocks, and so I did knock out Jesse run through you. He woke back up and wreaked havoc. Never got a chance to go to my secondary target because the foul, the bribe did not hold up for me.
Did you not get a wizard on this one?
Nope. All I had was a bribe. All right. So
that's rough.
Let's take a look at... and I guess the one last thing I wanted to go over was the predictions we had from last week, just to throw this out there. We did predict the Wood Elves over the Wood Elves over the Flings, and we were correct on that one. 2 games we had Stake Mittens predicted, and we had I don't remember who our prediction was on the other, but those 2 games haven't been played, so we don't know what the result of that is. We did correctly predict the Broken Boys over the Street Sharks, but that was just a we're just picking anyone but Shidori last week.
That was a biased
pick, but we were right. In the last 3 games, we all got wrong, so there you go.
Picking against the Battle Brothers. Yeesh.
Well, I will tell you. Let me tell you. I should have talked about this during our talk about that game. The only reason I picked against the Battle Brothers was because of the natural movement 10. I thought it would 2-1 grind the other way. I thought he would get a 1-turner in, and then he'd be able to score, you'd be able to score, and it would just be a 2-1 in the opposite direction.
Yeah, you're almost right. I mean, like I said, it could have been easily been 2-2 or even a 2-3 victory for him, to be honest.
Yep.
So it's just a matter of those 1-turners not working out. So.
All right.
You're close.
Close, but no cigar. Let's take a quick look at the matchups for next week. So first up, we've got Poetic versus the Flings with Hip Yup's Red Rent Rage. I think if this game is to be played, I would side with the Vampires, but I'm not sure if Poetic's out for IRL issues or something else there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. He has a nice team. He has some good pieces on it.
Yes, definitely a really cool team. I hope so.
Yeah. I like that.
So second team on the list here, and I'll let you jump in on this one. We have the Night Haunt, Sinister's the Night Haunt, the Undead team versus the Wood Elves.
Let me take a look at the Undead team here. I remember he has some pretty good pieces. Yeah, he has a killer white. I would think the Wood Elves could run off with this, just because they're so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
But
he also has a huge bench and a dirty player to take out those War Dancers if he manages to get them on the ground.
Yeah, he could also get a bride because I think he is the underdog here.
Yeah, team value for the match I think is 1660 versus 1730, so he will not quite get a bribe's worth.
I would induce it. I would spend the 30K. Yeah, just pick it up.
He has
and just every time there's a Wood Elf. Yeah, just smash a Wood Elf every time it's on the ground.
Then
it's the elf tax.
So
this is a good game right here, the Street Sharks one.
Yep. Are we picking the Undead for the second matchup?
Sure. It's a coin flip.
Coin flip, but slightly leaning towards the Undead if they're able to get some good fouls in there.
Yeah.
Street Sharks versus Gotta Catch 'Em All, the sibling rivalry. Not sure if you're aware these guys are good friends in real life. I believe they came into ReBBL together and have been kept in the same division together, just I think because the admins think it's funny.
That's nice.
So
what's the record? Who's winning the streak here?
I don't know what the history is. I really need to get a hold of one of those guys and find out. I've just kind of
I need to keep a tally.
Yeah, I'm sure they have it somewhere. I'm sure they do.
Let's see. I mean, the Street Sharks just got beat up pretty bad. Aren't they missing a Saurus?
They're going to be missing their killer Saurus, Dr. Robert, the Strength 5.
Are they also missing this big Slamu? It's a great name.
No, Big Slamu is playing this game. So the only one that's missing is Dr. Robert. So they will be picking up some inducements there, and they have a ton of money in the bank. So I believe the math was done. I think he can pick up Slibley to slot in there if he so wants to.
What is Sibley? Is that like the sidestep?
It's a Saurus that has I think it's grab guard. I think it's grab guard and something.
Oh shit! It has guard. I mean, hell.
yeah. It's a great pickup.
Yeah, that's worth it by itself. So in fact, he doesn't really miss a Saurus here. And I would actually say that having a guard, even though he's missing the 5 strength piece, is like more than sufficient of a replacement for that Dr. Robert character.
Yeah, it's almost as good.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Stickman's team is slowly coming online.
He does have the one good killer, Nurgle Warrior, so he does have the Claw Mighty Blow to hit those swords.
Yeah. But if you look at the rest of the team, he doesn't have any Mighty Blow. He just there's some at the bottom. Okay, so he has some Pestigors that have Mighty Blow, and then he has that one killer warrior.
Yep, one killer warrior, a couple of Pestigors with Mighty Blow. Distinct lack. No, he has a couple of tackle Pestigors, so he has a tackle Mighty Blow Pestigor, so he can hit the skinks with that. To no block on that, unfortunately, though, but can still hit the skinks with tackle and Mighty Blow to eliminate those. I think Steak Mittens has the tools to take this one, but it could go either way. It's going to depend on if those Nurgle skills kick in, if Mighty Blow fires and things like that, because it can very easily snowball for Steak Mittens if he gets some early removals. If he doesn't, the Street Sharks may continue doing their thing. I gotta be honest,
it's not looking good for Steak Mittens here.
Yeah,
because I think man to man, he's kind of outgunned. It's kind of ironic because he's the overdog here, right?
Yep.
Like apparently his team value is higher. When I look at the Street Sharks, I'm like, well, all his Sauruses have block. He's got more of them than Steak Mittens has the Warriors, and then he also has those Skinks that are just like crazy fast, which Nurgle don't have as good of tools to keep up with, I should say.
Right. The one thing he does have going for him is he's on 14 players, whereas depending on what the inducements are for the lizards, I think they're going to be on straight up either 11 or 12 if they induce a Saurus or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I would say if the dirty player shakes out for Steak Mittens, and then also the Claw Mighty Blow, then he can win it.
Yep, he needs either a Claw Mighty Blow hit to pay off early, or that dirty player to pay off early, and then that's his route to victory.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm still giving it to Steak Mittens just because I want to see the tightest playoff race possible. It's okay if the Street Sharks end up with the playoff spot. I just want it to be down to the last week.
At the same time, we don't want to send the Street Sharks in as representatives of our division, and he's all bashed up. He's all all his players are dead. His like hero skink is dead.
And the Street Sharks get, I believe, Undead next week. Yeah, they get the Night Haunt next week. So they're going out of this season, going through the Bash Gauntlet. They got all the elves at the start of the season and all the Bash at the end of the season.
Well, I'll pick Steak Mittens as a bias pick. Admittedly biased. So.
I think that's fair. If Shadora doesn't upset this week, then I don't think we can take any more bias picks against him.
Yeah.
All right. Next matchup is going to be the Hausdorff's Homewreckers versus Oathblow with Crown Jelly. So that's going to be the Chorfs versus the Norse. And Norse, way higher team value team.
Yeah, that's what I was about to mention, was that this is like the weirdest Norse team I think I've ever seen. Because usually when I see a Norse team with like extremely high TV value, it's because like the positionals have all leveled up, right?
Right.
Like they're all like maxed out. But then you look at his team and it's like he has two passers. Each of them took accurate. One took accurate and then Mighty Blow and tackle. So it's like a weird passing kill piece.
Yep.
And then there's not he has another Berserker that has dodge, Mighty Blow, and then has guard. Like there's these skills like all scattered around. And I think he just like overwhelms people. It's like, because like this is, there's no like hero piece on here that I see.
I think, and I may be wrong here, but like Scooby Smacks down there, the Ulf that is fresh, I think he had a much more experienced Ulf earlier in the season, and I think that had to be replaced. So I think a little bit of the team change, the team dynamic might have changed a little bit with that. It seems like I remember seeing like a strength up Ulf on this team or something like that. Something, really strong.
It's let's see, so he only has 4 players that are not leveled in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's no like extreme pieces, but then like player to player, he has like skills and tools like all over the place. It's a very interesting Norse team.
Giving up 410,000 gold of inducements to the Hausdorff Homewreckers, who are going to be down 2 blockers, so they could induce a couple of blockers with that. It's going to be an interesting one.
I'm not really familiar with the Chorf's like mercenary picks. Like do they have any like awesome journeyman type things they can pick up?
He could just pick up a couple of journeyman blockers, which aren't bad because they start with block and tackle as the little dwarf pieces, and could even level them up to pick up like some guard and mighty blow on them. So he could, with that amount of money, come into this game a full positional strength team.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be something I would consider. I think there's also some other things he can induce, like he can induce a Minotaur. I don't think that's great in this matchup.
Let's see. I'm taking a look at the start players.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is because Norse have so much block that a lot of star players don't get that much value against them. At least I don't think so.
Chainsaw would be really good against the Norse, considering they're mostly armor 7. So that would be a big consideration, I think, with that amount of money too. Maybe just chainsaws and bribes and go in with the plan to we're going to break that armor 7 down.
Yeah. I would choose Norse here because I think just sheer numbers. He has such a deep bench, and they're all like solid players. And then the Chorfs are just undergunned at the moment. Missing 2 blockers is pretty bad. That's just rough. So.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough matchup. I think it's going to be an important expenditure of inducements for that one to see how he levels that out. So I would be studying hard on how to induce those things. I think I do agree. I would give it to Oathblow on that. They're a pretty stacked team.
The thing is, at a greater perspective, if Oathblow wins, he is, I think, tied with me. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So if he wins, it makes the playoff race even spicier.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
I kind of hope he wins.
Yeah. Next up, I won't make you name a pick here, but we've got the Battle Brothers versus Shazelbob's Broken Boys. So that's gonna be a good match, I think. The Broken Boys coming off the big victory versus the Street Sharks. You're giving up 110K of inducement cash to them. Well, possibly you have some bank that you could spend off.
Yeah, I have some reorganization to do with the team.
Mm-hmm.
So it won't be that much.
Right. But we'll be giving up some inducements to them. He's got a pretty sharp-looking team there. That Strength 5 Blitzraw is a great piece. He's going to have all of his... He is missing his dirty player for this game, so... but he will have all of his Tomb Guardians in play, so he is going to be tough to hit.
Well, the thing about the Bretonians is they have Dauntless,
right?
Which can block. So his Tomb Guardians actually don't scare me that much.
Right.
It's more the kind of like the way if you play against a dwarf team and they cage up, and then once they're caged really well,
yep.
Then you just you have no answer.
Yep. I think you have. I think you have a little bit to fear from. He's probably going to be able to pick up a bribe through inducements one way or another, even if he has to spend a little bit out of bank, which he can completely afford to do if he wants to. So I think you're in danger of maybe falling a little bit to the foul game like he brought against Shadora, just stepping on things. You've got some really good pieces, but if he can get one of them on the ground and step on it, that could be scary.
Let's see, he only has 11 players. I think.
Does he only have 11? I thought he was on 12 or
Or
13.
12.
1, 2,
Maybe 12.
3.
I'm not sure there's a gap missing here. Yeah, it's
No,
11. There's
11.
a gap between.
Oh, that changes the math a little bit.
Yeah.
Skeletons are 60K, so he could. Or no, skeletons are 40K, so he could just hire a skeleton to go up to 12 if he wants to. Interesting.
Yeah, this matchup scares me. It's actually scared me for a while because I don't have a lot of experience against Khemri. So like the closest thing I've experienced against, I would guess, is either like not even really lizards because they have fast pieces. I would say like the orcs are like the closest comparison I can make.
Right.
And I get my ass kicked by the orcs like almost every time.
I think I think the Khemri, the closest matchup in my opinion of what it feels like is it feels like playing against chorfs, just slightly different chorfs. Because they're trying to do a similar type style of they're going to push this wall slowly down the field and just march down.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We'll see. I noticed. Well, he has some really good blitzers actually. Both of those pieces.
I promise this is not a biased pick, but I actually am going to go with. I think I'm gonna go with you on this one, but
Sweet.
but it's only by a slight margin. I'm going with your team on this by the thinnest of margins. I could easily see this game going either way. I think this is going to be a good game.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough with this matchup to make any assessment on it.
Right.
He just has some really good pieces, like that throw raw.
Yep.
With the return, the kick return, and he has fend.
Yep.
Like,
and he's an edgy up, so unlike the rest of the team, he can actually pick the ball up.
Yeah. Let's say what, like 1 and 9 to foul, I think on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he doesn't have that usual like Khemri hamstring thing where he might drop the ball like 5 times in a row.
Yep.
Like he's very likely to pick it up. I mean, hell, he might even catch it on a kickoff because he has kickoff return.
Absolutely, he has a chance. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. So, good luck to you both.
Yeah.
Next matchup, we've got the Orcsploitation Cinema versus the Rock'em Sock'ems. This is, I'm probably going to be slightly biased here. The Orcs are coming into this game even more of an overdog than they were against me last week. And I think they showed what they could do against Dark Elves with their Jesse run through you, just running through you. So I think my gut is to say the Orcs are going to run it back.
I would actually pick the Dark Elves here, and the reason is because they're going to get the Wizard. And I feel like Elves with the Wizard are like overpowered.
Right.
The ability to zap the ball carrier and then use 4 agility to run in there and get it, and then get it out of there is really strong. But let me take a look at his team real quick.
Sure.
The Dark Elves. Both these teams actually beat me, I should say. So I can't make a vengeful bias pick.
Right.
Against them. Let's see. Yeah, he doesn't have any like broken like health pieces. Like there's no like superstar here.
And one of the things too is he only has 4 movement 7s. One of his witches is movement busted, and one of his blitzers is agi busted. This is actually a pretty damaged Dark team. So
yeah,
that played into my assessment there. I think it's going to be tough.
I'm
even
surprised.
With
I mean, did that get agi busted pretty recently? Because I don't know if I would keep that. 3 agility is like pretty crap.
Well, 3 agility is pretty cap, but Mighty Blow's a double, and
I gotcha.
That plays into it a bit. I think once you have a Mighty Blow tackle piece, it's still doing its job most of the time because you're just he's already got so much levels invested in that. I think that's I think it's justifiable to keep that just to be knocking things over. I think once I got another of my blitzers up, like we roll in or something like that. Actually, looking at the team, there's only 3 blitzers, so it doesn't even have the full set of positionals. I would look at firing that once I had some of my other positionals leveled up and had a chance to cycle it, but whenever you're struggling to keep your head above water, I can totally justify keeping that piece.
Yeah, I think that assessment is actually pretty correct here, especially because that is his blitz piece, so he might not be playing the ball that often with it.
Yeah.
Like he might be knocking heads.
Yeah,
So.
you can play the ball with everyone else on the team. That guy's just there to hit things.
And he is beat up. Crap. He's missing a lot of pieces.
Yep.
Yeah. If the Orcs just cage up and just walk down the field.
Yep. And if Jesse continues his streak of just everything he hits gets knocked out or cast, that's going to be a tough one.
Like, it's one of those matchups that could be decided in the first couple turns. Like, if he gets a couple of removals on the Dark Elves, it's going to be real tough.
Yep.
Even with Wizard.
Absolutely.
I think in retrospect you might be right on this. I think the Orcs should be favored here.
Yep. All right. Last matchup. I'll let you take the lead on this one. It's myself, the Pananimals, versus Rex's the One Cheese. So the Skaven team.
Let's see. I think I've played you both in sequence now. Like, I think I played you before the Skaven.
Yep.
I thought you both played really well. Like, I thought you were both pretty solid here.
Yep.
So the fact he's getting a Wizard, I know I've kind of harped on the Wizard quite a bit here, but
Wizard plus he has a movement 10 gutter runner, like he can yeah.
Like, and he honestly was like a 50-50 chance away from tying it or even winning the game against me. So he does have that he's a very good one-turner. Like, he knew exactly what to do.
Yep.
And he has the pieces for it.
Yep.
So, and you add in Wizard, it's pretty rough. Like I said, I gave him the slightest of room to make a play on the ball carrier, and he immediately did it, and he knocked the ball free. So you combine that, and then it's like, if he had Wizard in our game, there's no way I would have won that game. I can't imagine how it'd be possible.
There are only two little things I want to point out just before you go final answer on it is one, this can go both ways. Well, no, his strip ball is out. I have my strip ball, and there are no sure hands anywhere on the team.
Yeah. That I think I actually killed that piece, and he appoed it. That 2020.
Yep.
Tony Rapid. It's a good name too.
Yep, and he is out for the game. So. We do have a situation. He is down a gutter runner for the game, just for the game. But yeah, so I think it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure.
So can I offer? I don't want to say it's advice, but like a recommendation or something. Which is like, even if you're on offense, would be to keep a safety in the back.
For sure.
Yeah. Because actually, when I look at these teams. When you look at the AV7 of the Skaven, like, you do have the pieces to smash that, like all the block. And if his AV7 fails enough, and you do have tackle, right? You have plenty of tackle.
I have plenty of tackle. I think I have 3 tackle pieces, maybe 4. Looking at his team, he's also got plenty of tackle, and he does have the Mighty Blow advantage. He has 2 Mighty Blow to my 0 because I'm notorious for not being able to roll doubles. I can roll stat ups all day, but never doubles.
This is like my favorite game of the week.
Yeah, I'm down to 2 tackle. I was at 3, and then my other blitzer died. I forgot about that.
I will say this: in my matchup, I had players to throw at his blitzer, like the peasant, that I don't care about. So, like, I could always screen things off. I'm not sure if you can do the same. Like, I guess a lineman. I don't know. I would say if his blitzer doesn't fire off, the claw, mighty blow piling on, like monstrosity, doesn't kill anything, then you have a chance. But again, I placed a lot of emphasis on the wizard.
Right.
It's yeah. If he gets a good wizard, it's gonna be rough.
Yep.
Just because he's scared.
I think he's definitely got I think he probably has the edge this week. If I'm being brutally honest about it, I want to give the game to myself, but I think he's got the edge. But we will see.
What is, out of curiosity though, like how's your TV so much higher than, like, I don't see.
It's due to a couple of things. The main thing is, well, Dark Elves are a little bit bloaty, and they're very bloaty when it comes to stats. So when you look at how much team value I'm carrying, 210 team value just for Totally Irrelevant, because he has a movement up and an agi up, and then the movement up on the Witch Elf. And I think that team value, the 1630 is including, I'm getting some loaners, because I'm at 9 players, so that's including 2 70k linemen. Because
it is?
For whatever reason, the Dark Elf linemen are 70k, I guess because they're Agi 4, but it's a very expensive just to pick up. It's 140k in team value to pick up 2 loner linemen.
Yeah. I don't know with Skaven, but I will say this for the book. And I'll probably be watching this if I can. Like, right. I like this matchup a lot. Like, I feel like it's very even with the Wizard.
Right.
But I'm just biased towards Wizards.
Right. All right. Well, did you want to look at any teams or have any final thoughts? I think we've gone way over our time budget here, but if you wanted to look at any team or if you had any final thoughts you wanted to share, the floor is yours.
No, I think we get a pretty good review. A lot of the teams. I think we're okay. I'm interested to see how Oathblow and the Night Haunt out.
Definitely.
Tonight, so.
Yeah. That'll be a good game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me. I think we knocked it out of the park here. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. All right, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week, and try not to get nuffled out there.
Yep. See you guys.